Hi there, students. Lockstep. Normally in lockstep. Lockstep, one word, or it could be two as well. Okay, this talks about a group, very often a group of soldiers, or also a group of prisoners, marching very closely together. And when they all move the same leg at the same time, and the foot of the person behind occupies the space that the person in front has vacated. Like this, you can have a line of people moving with very, very little space between them. Okay, so they're moving their legs at exactly the same time and exactly the same way as the people in front of them. So, I don't know, for example, the coffin was carried by 12 soldiers, all walking in lockstep. Okay, so walking in lockstep, they're all moving their feet at the same time. But, well, that's very, very specific, but we can use this metaphorically. So in lockstep with somebody, in complete agreement with someone, in complete agreement with something, doing this in a concerted way where the actions of the two people involved are completely coordinated. So you do exactly what the people in charge want you to do. So these people are lockstep conservatives and will do exactly what the party says. They are lockstep Republicans and do exactly what the party dictates. For me personally, I find it difficult to bear a lockstep culture where we all have to do exactly the same thing. Okay, so in lockstep with, at the same time, at the same rate. For example, the prices of two commodities could move in lockstep. Okay, the price of supermarket shares does not move in lockstep with the price of bank shares, but perhaps the price of oil moves in lockstep with uncertainty. So maybe the prices of two companies fall in lockstep with each other. They move in lockstep with each other at the same time and the same rate. The minister seems to be in lockstep with the banks, and they both act at exactly the same time. Okay, so lockstep. They are closely linked and they copy each other. All of the companies in the sector raised prices in lockstep with each other. Now, you could look at this lockstep to say in a perfect or in rigid, mindless conformity, in unison. So politicians marching in lockstep with the party line. If you're in lockstep with someone, perhaps nobody questions what is happening. Lockstep, a standard procedure that is mindlessly followed, that minimizes individuality. So I'm not too happy with lockstep. Maybe your progress in English moves in lockstep with the amount of time you spend studying. Okay, so let's look at the origin of Lockstep, because the origin is actually quite interesting. Let's see, it was used originally in drilling soldiers, but it was also used in American prisons in the 19th century. And the reason was there were chains on the legs of all of the prisoners. So to get a line of prisoners to move, they had to move in lockstep. They all had to move at exactly the same time. And their arms were locked around the person in front. It's also interesting. They also had to look in opposite directions so that they couldn't communicate. And this was something that they used as part of the penal system in the United States. Okay, so in lockstep. Okay, so to march in lockstep, but originally it was a way of marching single file and very close together. Okay, so in lockstep, if two people are in lockstep with each other, there is a rigid synchronization. They act together, but normally lockstep also implies some sort of rigidity or inflexibility, because the steps or the movement of two people is completely locked. So yes, formality in lockstep. I think I'm going to give it a 5.5 in formality. Use anywhere, informally, semi-formally and formally. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Lockstep. In lockstep.